Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and before you even stretch, before you even think about breakfast, your heart is already beating nearly 100,000 times today. That tiny muscle in your chest never takes a break, never asks for a vacation, never calls in sick. But let me ask you a question that might make you pause. Is the very first thing you drink in the morning helping your heart? Or is it silently working against it? Most people over 50 never stop to ask this. We worry about cholesterol, we cut back on salt, we try to get a bit of exercise, but few of us actually think about our morning drink. And yet, those first sips set the stage for how our heart will perform all day long. Surprised? You should be, because the truth is, your morning drink can either help protect your arteries or slowly inflame them. It can either give your blood vessels a soothing, healing environment, or it can push them one step closer to stiffness and blockages. That's the hook, my friends. What you drink right after you wake up could be one of the simplest but most powerful heart decisions you make every single day. Now let's unpack that, and I promise by the end of this, you'll look at your morning cup in a whole new way. First, let's talk about water. It may sound boring, but water is like oxygen's silent partner. Think about it. When you sleep, you go 7 or 8 hours without hydrating. Your blood becomes thicker, more concentrated, which makes your heart work harder in the morning. That's why strokes and heart attacks often happen right after waking up. A glass of plain, room temperature water can be the first and most powerful heart-saving ritual. It thins the blood naturally, helps your kidneys flush out toxins, and sets the stage for smoother circulation. Some people say, but I drink coffee first thing. And I understand, coffee feels like life itself. But skipping water and jumping straight into caffeine is like asking your heart to run a marathon without a warm-up. Personally, I keep a glass of water on my nightstand. Before I even step out of bed, I drink it down, and it feels like I've just given my heart a gift. If you've ever felt dizzy or sluggish when waking up, try this tomorrow. And if you're already doing it, tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it works for you. Now, once you've given your heart that initial hydration, the next question is, what should you actually drink in the morning that supports cardiovascular health? This is where the choices get interesting. Many experts point to green tea, not the fancy bottled versions filled with sugar, but a simple cup of brewed green tea. It's packed with antioxidants called catechins, which act like little firefighters inside your arteries, reducing inflammation and improving the way your blood vessels relax. That means lower blood pressure, better cholesterol balance, and less wear and tear on the heart. I remember when I first switched from my second cup of coffee to a cup of green tea. At first, I resisted. I thought tea was too weak. But within weeks, I noticed my energy was steady, my focus sharper, and my blood pressure readings actually came down. That's not just theory, that's lived experience. And here's the twist. You don't have to give up coffee entirely. In fact, research shows moderate coffee can also support heart health, thanks to its polyphenols. The trick is balance and timing. Coffee right after waking can spike your cortisol, your stress hormone. But if you drink water first, eat a small breakfast, and then have coffee an hour later, it becomes less of a burden and more of a benefit. Speaking of coffee, let's address the elephant in the room. Caffeine. Is it good or bad for your heart? The answer isn't black and white. For some, coffee raises blood pressure temporarily. For others, it seems to have protective effects against heart disease. What matters most is how your body responds and what else is in your cup. Adding spoonfuls of sugar and heavy cream, that's like taking something potentially good and turning it into a heart hazard. My suggestion, if you love coffee, keep it simple, maybe a splash of milk, but skip the sugar. Or if you can't live without sweetness, try cinnamon. Cinnamon not only adds flavor, but also helps stabilize blood sugar, which is deeply tied to heart health. This is one of those small morning choices that add up over years. Another drink that deserves the spotlight is beet juice. Now, before you wrinkle your nose, hear me out. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. That compound relaxes blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and improves circulation. It's like giving your arteries a morning yoga session. I tried beet juice for a month straight, and yes, it made my smoothies look like something out of a crime scene, but the benefits were real. My endurance improved, and I felt more energized during morning walks. You don't need a full glass either. Just a small serving blended with apple or carrot can work wonders. And if juicing feels like too much effort, many stores sell beet powder you can stir into water. Now let's get personal. When I turned 55, my doctor warned me about rising blood pressure. I didn't want medication yet, so I looked for natural supports. That's when I discovered hibiscus tea. It's ruby red, tart like cranberry, and studies show it can lower blood pressure almost as effectively as some mild medications. Drinking a warm cup in the morning became a ritual that not only calmed me, but also gave my arteries a soothing embrace. The key, though, is consistency. One cup here and there won't change your heart health, but a habit, day after day, becomes part of your body's rhythm. If you've never tried hibiscus tea, maybe this week is the time. And if you already love it, share in the comments how it makes you feel. Another morning option that often gets overlooked is warm lemon water. It's simple. Squeeze half a lemon into a glass of warm water. Not only does it hydrate, but the vitamin C acts as an antioxidant, protecting arteries from damage. Plus, it supports collagen production, which keeps blood vessels flexible. Some people claim it helps with digestion and weight management too, which indirectly supports the heart. I've found it to be an easy, refreshing ritual, especially on mornings when I don't feel like brewing tea. And honestly, the scent of fresh lemon itself is enough to lift your mood. Of course, while we talk about these drinks, it's also important to highlight what not to drink. Sugary juices, soda, even so-called energy drinks, these are the silent enemies of your heart. They spike blood sugar, cause inflammation, and force your heart to work harder than it should. If you've been relying on orange juice from a carton as your morning go-to, here's a gentle challenge. Swap it for a fresh fruit, or dilute it with water, or better yet, try one of the heart-friendly drinks we've discussed. Change is never easy, but your arteries will thank you. Now, I want to share a powerful mindset shift. Too often, we think about heart health only when something goes wrong, when we feel chest pain, when the doctor gives us a warning. But your morning drink is an act of prevention, not reaction. It's a daily vote for how you want your heart to age. Do you want stiff, tired vessels or flexible, resilient ones? Every sip is a choice. That's why I say don't underestimate the power of small habits. They're like drops of water shaping stone over time. And here's where I'd love your engagement. If you've tried any of these drinks, green tea, beet juice, hibiscus tea, lemon water, leave a comment below and share your story. Did you notice a change in blood pressure, in energy, in mood? Your story might inspire someone else who's watching this right now. Maybe someone who feels stuck and needs that extra push. And if you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss the next video where we dive even deeper into practical, everyday habits that protect your health after 50. As we come to the end of this journey, let's reflect. The morning is not just the start of your day. It's the foundation of your heart's entire performance. Imagine your arteries like musical instruments. If you tune them in the morning with water, with tea, with nourishing drinks, they'll play a harmonious melody all day. But if you start with sugar, dehydration, or stress, the music becomes strained, dissonant. Which song do you want your heart to play? That's the twist. The answer isn't in some complicated medical treatment, but in the simple act of what you choose to sip when you wake up. So tomorrow morning, when you stand in your kitchen, ask yourself, is this cup in my hand serving my heart or hurting it? That tiny pause, that conscious choice can change not just your day, but the trajectory of your health for years to come. Because in the end, heart health isn't about big, dramatic changes. It's about small, consistent acts of care, repeated every day. And your morning drink, that humble, ordinary ritual, may just be one of the most extraordinary tools you have. Take that sip with intention, take it with gratitude, and most of all, take it with the knowledge that you are giving your heart the respect and love it deserves.